Touch, a Rockland-based organization for fighting against discrimination of HIV and AIDS. I have executive producer Robert Marr here, so I'll hand it over to Rob and he'll explain to you exactly.
Thank you, Jonathan, for having me here today. TOUCH stands for Together Our Unity Can Heal. We are an HIV/AIDS support organization that was founded back in 1989 when there was a realization in Rockland County that there was no place for people to go who needed services while they were being diagnosed and living with HIV disease. Since that time, TOUCH has grown to be providing over 125,000 meals a year to individuals who are living with HIV disease in Rockland and Orange County, as well as we run a number of support groups for individuals who are living with HIV disease. We have education programs for the general community as well as for those individuals who are HIV positive. HIV is a very difficult disease because of the stigma that's involved with it, that many people who even have the disease don't want to acknowledge that they are infected themselves because of the stigma that goes along with it. So we are really here to help befriend people and offer a safe space that people can come and know that we are trying to help them and offer the best support we can.
Okay. I know here at TOUCH you guys do a lot of services for the community. Can you explain some of those?
Sure.
More specific?
Sure. In addition to our food nutrition program, again, I have to really emphasize it's not just a food program, it's more based around a nutrition program. We have a nutritionist on staff who works with individuals about making sure they're eating right. Around HIV is very different than men experience. And I would say that really about 80% of we like to use the term members versus clients. Members to me is more friendly. I like to say I have board members, I have staff members, and I have members who utilize our service. There's no us and them. We're all equal here when you walk through the door. Our support groups work with our members to help issues, whether it's the women, whether it is around substance use issues, whether it's just general issues that somebody may be dealing with.
How would you say Rockland County as a whole has welcomed your program?
That's a tough question. I recall I've been involved with TOUCH basically since 1991. I started off as a volunteer with TOUCH. I soon found myself on the board of directors of TOUCH. I soon found myself as board president of TOUCH. I was there for 7 years as board president, and our executive director at that time stepped down, and they asked me to step in for 6 months while I looked for a new executive director. And that was 9 years ago that I've been the executive director. So I've been here a few years. So I've seen how truly the HIV epidemic has shifted and changed, but also how people's perception, getting back to your question, has changed. In the early days, people were much more aware and much more concerned about HIV than they are today. In the early days, it was much more classified as those people's problem and those people's fault from living style. I'm talking about the general community.
Right.
The early days, it was viewed that it was primarily a homosexual disease or infection. They used to call it the 4 H's, which was hemophiliacs, homosexuals, Haitians, and heroin users is what it used to be referred to in the early days. And unfortunately, because of that, the stigma, even today, still kind of focuses around those populations. What I mean by that is that today, the majority of individuals who are being infected are still your young people in this country. In this country, every hour there are 2 people under the age of 25 being infected by HIV disease. That's every hour 2 people under the age of 25. That's 48 new people under the age of 25. And they are all not homosexual, they're all not heroin users, and they're all not Haitians, and they're all not hemophiliacs. So these are young people that are engaging in activities that are putting them at risk for exposure to HIV. With that being said, today, HIV and concern about the illness has pretty much fallen off the radar screen. People are not concerned anymore. The general community, they have heard about us, but they really don't want to know about us. Because to acknowledge that they know about us, other people will think, well, why do you know about an AIDS organization? Who in your family is positive?
With that being said, how important do you think it is for, especially Rockland County being such a diverse county that it's in, being in New York, how important do you think it is for organizations such as Touch and other organizations like this to exist in society today?
I think it's actually increasingly more important than it even has been years ago. Again, for many of the stigma issues I referred to earlier on. Part of it is additionally, many of our members do not feel comfortable because of the stigma going anywhere else but where they feel is a safe space and where they know the people who are working there understand what they're going through. We're located here at 209 Route 9W in Congers. If anyone is familiar with the area, it's basically Auto Body Shop Row. It's pretty discreet, there's really not much around. We purposely chose this location to offer that safety and comfort level for our members.
Alright, well I want to thank you for taking the time out to for explaining to everybody what Touch is. And
I can give you a little tour now of the agency as well, of our pantry and all.
that'd be great.
Okay.
Alright, thank you again.
Thank you.
Alright, let's take a walk. Okay, so here we are in the pantry for Touch.
Yeah.
Here's Robbie going to explain to you what's going on here.
Yeah. This is our food pantry for a nutrition program. We actually, as I said earlier, distribute over 125,000 meals a year to our residents here in Rockland County who are living with HIV. We don't actually prepare the meals, we don't cook anything, it's all uncooked meals, but we supply enough food for an individual for their breakfast, lunch, and dinner for their 7 days a week, the 365 days a year that they are well fed, because nutrition is such an important piece in fighting any illness, and especially HIV. We provide meats and frozen meats. We provide fresh fruits and vegetables, so it's a full range of items. We actually, as you can see over here on our shelves, every week what we supply actually rotates and changes. So this is actually set up for what's going to be distributed next week, and then during the week this will get changed. And let you pan a little bit onto the food items. We're also always looking to do food drives with volunteers, to go out to grocery stores and ask to solicit food items. Additionally, we're always in need of, you don't think about it, but personal hygiene items. Very often we're working with people who are, no longer employed because of the HIV illness. They are living on food stamps, they're living below the poverty level, and we soon learned that some people couldn't even afford toilet paper, something that we really take for granted, but to realize that toilet paper to some people is a very valuable commodity. Toothpaste, that's something that again we take for granted. So very often we like to do toiletry drives where we have people do collections of that. Every week these bags get packed, and of what's going out to one individual. We have volunteers that come and deliver the bags out to Rockland County. Rockland County, unlike say Manhattan, being that it's geographically diverse as well and spread around, and public transportation is lacking, that we actually deliver the food bags to the individual's home versus making the individual come here to us. So that's one of the big things. Our support group room, every week we hold a number of groups in here. Again, whether it's the women's group, the substance use group, or general drop-in group. One of the big things we do with individuals is we do educational classes as well. People very often don't know the proper way to take medication. When you're taking HIV medication, it's something you've got to take every day for the rest of your life, and that is a big burden in of itself. Just any of us imagine when we've had to take an antibiotic for 10 days and how often we don't take it for the full 10 days because we forget or something else happens. You're taking a handful of pills for the rest of your life every single day. So there's a lot of issues around that. So this room is small, but it's comfortable. Our members truly, they come here and they really feel that we are their second family. And to some of them their first family, because they don't feel that they can even talk openly and comfortably with anyone else in their family except when they come here. So.
Well, Mr. Marr, or Rob,
Rob.
you want me to call you? I want to thank you very much. Very informative for showing us around this place. It's very nice. Hopefully I'm going to get involved now. I don't know about you guys. But yes, thank you again.
Great. Thank you all very much. Hope to see you.